found it. I found it. We have it. We're live now. Do you think I should say some of what I just told you, or
How do you want?
I'll try it, but I'll try it differently. Not because the first time was bad, but just to keep it
To
real.
be
So
here.
to be here right
Yes.
now. So what I so I'm coming to terms with something. Meaning I'm coming to acknowledge that I don't really know that much about women, other than what I've read in Clinton's books or what I've um, read elsewhere about archetypal woman or women. And and I didn't know that. I think I've had an assumption that I knew or perceived or appreciated women. And I'm starting over in that domain. And part of that is meaning I'm starting over with assuming that I know anything. And I don't know how possible that is actually, but I'm trying something with it. And part of that is getting to know women, also women that I think I've known. In some ways, I've known you for a period of time and done transformational work with you, and um, at times been side by side in spaces. And so I am here, and I want to be kind of careful about not being here as a scientist or as a collecting information or intelligence, but really being here with you to find out about women and to learn how to really love women, starting with you. This is the first of those interviews.
Mm. I can share straight away what happens in me what when I hear you saying that you want to know about woman and that you want to get to know woman and that you want to learn to love woman starting with me. And when you say that, I can feel fear in my body. And I feel scared because of the level of presence and curiosity um and
Because of
commitment to
the what of presence?
the level of presence. I can feel you very present here. I can sense you are present with me. And I feel fear because I've I've not I've not grown up with this level of curiosity or commitment to to someone learn how to love. And I it's like how to be with that intensity.
Mhm.
As a woman, I've in the last 2 years I've discovered what does it mean someone to be present with me, and what does it mean me to be present in me. And I have a devastating legend that I was just holding space 3 days ago to a young woman. She's my age. She's 22. I'm 22 right now.
Mhm.
In this woman body experiencing what is to be human here on this planet. So she has the same age than me, and I was holding a first coaching session for her. And we started very simple, like how all the matrix she has. right now is from university, from school, and from her family. And I did not really know where to start with her, like from where to start. And I decided to start with presence, and I invited her to touch her physical body and to say this is my physical body, and to really like touch the face and go touching and say this is my physical body. And she turned off the microphone and she started doing it with her eyes closed. And then she stopped, she did like for 30 seconds, she stopped, and then I asked her, why did you turn off your microphone? And she said, I cannot do that with you. And the whole session was about that. How scary was for you to be with her, because when she's touching her body, she's with her, and to be with me. And this, the first year of my transformational journey was mainly about that. So I think to be in a women physical body and be able to be here and with another person like you right now in this level of intensity, of presence and attention on me and on the space and what I'm speaking, it's like, oh, and it's so new
What's
for
that?
me.
What is that? Also, I want to just change the camera view, so I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, better. What is the thing that comes?
Is what is that? Is ah I can feel the coldness in my hand and my feet, and the fear, the terrifying fear of being seen. As uh, what comes that right now is that I don't need to be a man to be seen. And and this was the main thing I decided as woman, as a little girl. It was to become a man, like to try to be a man better than a man, to adopt characteristics or ways of being in the world that the boys in my school used to have to be seen.
Hmm.
So I feel a lot of fear about being interviewed about being a woman by you right now. And it seems that it something touches in you when I say that.
Yeah,
You feel
I do. I feel sad. I felt, I can't remember what you said earlier, but just something about that you would be, I don't know. I feel sad because I think I get a sense just already from what you're saying of that you wouldn't really be able to be yourself. And I hate that. Uh, yeah, I feel sad that you wouldn't have had that it wouldn't be a more common experience, and I feel angry too for for women to experience just neutral attention or something, or interested attention, um, that they don't have to do something for, that they don't have to like move in some way for, or become a boy, become a man to get that attention.
mm,
Uh, You said this thing about being a boy. What did you have to do to what did you learn how to do to be
Hmm.
noticed?
Well, I the first thing that comes is sports somehow. Pictures of sports since very like early age in my life. I entered a lot in sports like football or basketball or frisbee, a lot of running sports, and when I was like 6 until 10, there was no girls teams for sports, for these sports that I wanted to do. So I was mostly with men, like with the boys in school or in other places. Um, and for me, it was not interesting when I was with the girls because they what I can remember was like it was boring for me because they would be speaking about in early ages. I remember they would be speaking about the boys, or they would be speaking about the girl that did not give the lunch for her in the break, or like was this gossiping thing happening. And I remember that I was so attracted by this movement, by this action. So I really like I was very attractive as a little girl to sports. And uh and in the sports I was usually like the leader. I wanted to be the leader. So I was a captain in the football team of the boys, and I somehow I developed this driver of being fast and learning fast, like getting the things fast and wanting to be strong. So I like they would train for 2 hours and I would stay in the grass for more 3 extra hours playing and throwing the balls on the square again and again, and this driving to this I will not give up, and this strength of I will be so better in this football game that I will show you that I'm not less, I'm not different than you. I really wanted to, as a child, to show that I'm not different than you.
Mhm.
And then later on in high school, I really entered in this feminist movement. So the 3 years of high school, I was in the feminist movement, really like this activist mode of I want equity, like I want that men and women is the same. And I even did not know, like it, this thing to be called woman. Like I wanted the things to be the same. And I feel sad because when I'm speaking about that, I feel sad because it's like I feel a distance that I'm like speaking about a movie. I it's distant.
Because
It's
it's
like
past.
yeah.
Well, I have a question about now that you wanted equity before or something like that. What do you want now?
Right
There.
now, right now, I am relating to this topic we are exploring. I am a blank paper, being like drawing the things that I want to put in this map and about being woman. It's like that I'm rewriting my own book of assumptions and and stories and limitations and possibilities of what woman means. And this really started in the Women's of Earth Lab last year in Portugal in October. And since then, I've written, I think, some of new stories that I'm embodying, or I'm um, discovering as superpowers or as capacities of being a woman. And one of them that I'm really is really alive right now is about the noticing, like the superpower of noticing things that no one noticed, and the capacity of paying attention in different things at the same time. And I'm just realizing that by relating with a man that I'm living with him now for 2 weeks, and how this, like, we were at the beach and I was reading a book with him called Original Wisdom. And at the same time that I was reading this book, I was paying attention on the ocean. And I also was paying attention on the bird that was coming close to us. And I was paying attention on my feelings. My tears was falling my cheeks because I was sad about the part of the book that he's describing about the village in Malaysia where the government was wanting to buy the land.
Mhm.
And then this person says, well, for me it doesn't make sense this, because it's the same thing that I say, I want to buy your name, sell me your name. This is how insane for me is what you're asking, the offer you're making to me. And this touched me deeply, and I started crying, and my attention was also in the sadness. And also my attention was in Leonard that was reading this with me. And like how this was arriving, like what was happening in him in him with this book. So all of this I was paying attention on, and then I stopped and I had the curiosity. What I asked, what is happening to you? And 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 then he had already finished reading, and then he said, "I'm waiting for the next page." And it was like this mono attention thing. And then I shared with him what was happening in me, and then he was like, how you were with this all these things happening at the same time. And I did not know how to answer it. This is something that it's, I don't know if it's about being a woman, but I see in another woman's, and I wrote this in my book, in my new book of assumptions or stories about being a woman
Mhm.
so far.
I love that. I mean, I could kind of feel that that's what this is what was coming would be Leonhard, or the kind of man's like attention on something very, I don't know what to say about it, immediate, or like in this little tiny box as you were speaking.
Yeah.
Also what I experience is attention like that.
Yeah, and I think the becoming more woman that you were sharing before, this is one of the facets I see. The way you can become more woman, that is how you can pay attention in things that is beyond the single focused immediate attention. Yeah. And one more thing that is really alive, that I ripped off the pages of what the things I got about woman being being in a certain way. So I received a lot of pictures of what woman is,
Mhm.
about physical appearance, for example, that a woman is sensitive and is soft and is delicate. And now one of the writing that I wrote in my book also is that woman is everything. That I am everything. And this was in the Women's of Earth lab in New Zealand that I wrote that,
Mhm.
where I could experience myself in 1 minute going from rage to laughing, and then from laughing to crying, and then from crying to embrace all the women in a circle and saying something. And it was so wild that it was a space that I could experience this. What does it mean being everything in the experience of that I don't need to limit myself in the sport team. And I can also go there. And I don't need to limit myself as a possibilitator. I can also experiment to be a clown. And I is this facility to shift identities and to really is a kind of agility um, to experience other tastes or other identities, feelings, sensations.
Mhm. Was there, what do you call it? Well, I'm wondering about, it seems like before that there would be something more like I'd be a sports person, or I belong to some kind of uh something clear or something crystallized in terms of identity or a way of being. uh, how do you make that swing from being there into everything, being the place that everything comes through, like without any sort of, I don't know if you know this word, but discrimination, or without filters, that everything can actually move through you?
Mm.
How is it, what is it like to experience that now?
I feel a relief. Like mm, one thing I did was to try out things that was against my previous identity. So my previous identity as a woman was I would not use dress because I hate dress. Because everyone says that women use dress. Why does men doesn't use dress? But in Bali they use it because they use these skirts. Like so
Uh-huh.
I this thing about the dress did not make sense to me as a child or as a teenager. So I built up this identity that I will do everything that is the opposite of what they say that a woman is or that a woman should do.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I I I I learned to hate it makeup like lipsticks or anything that is made up. I learned to hate high heels or dresses. I until the women's lab I did not had any dress in my airdrop. Or I learned to dress really like more straight clothes
I
and hide my
remember
physical body.
I remember when I first met you, you were wearing, I don't even remember the exact clothes, but you looked like a boy from the streets or something. Is what you looked like a
Yeah,
street
I
kid, like a
really,
punk.
I really, a hip hop, a hip hop
Yes.
boy. Yes, it
Yes,
is.
that's
I look my
exactly what it looked
pictures.
like. Okay.
Yeah, like really like this kind of clothes. So I started really from this material, physical world, you know. So I bought a dress in Greece, a beautiful red dress that I really love it. I said like, yes, this one I want to use it. And I started to experiment using more my hands to communicate. So before my communication was really monosyllabic and like really like and so I started to use more to let more the movements of my body. And this was an experiment that Clinton gave in the Archaic Makers Fair. He said like you need to become at least more 80% woman. And then one experiment you can do is to use your hands and to use the movements of your hands. So I started to do that, and now it became more part of like this flow of energy.
Mm.
um I did the experiment of using makeup and ask a woman to to do it in me and to see how it was, and I still hate it. Like I for me it doesn't make any sense to put it cover in my face and a different color to my lips. Like why that? But I allow myself to experience from a neutral perspective and see how it is.
Mm.
So yeah, the swing, it is a process. I sense that I'm still there, in this. I'm still in here in this experimentation and this discovery of how can I express myself, how can I dress myself, how can I be myself without fighting the identity or what I learned what a woman is, and giving it more space to this unfolding to happen.
Mm.
Also, I'm using more my hair without tightening and making it squeezed and tight. Um, so these are some of the conscious experiment that I've been doing about that.
I have a question I feel afraid about asking because I have kind of uh it's not so linear. So we'll see. But I was wondering how it is for you to be admired physically for your physical looks or for your I don't know, even physical radiance. And maybe it's even beyond physical, but how it is for you to it is beyond physical. How it is for you to be appreciated in that way, particularly by men or by Leonhard or something like that.
I'm learning to receive appreciation from men. I remember the first time that I had a walk with Leonard and he was looking at me. He could not stop looking at me. And I could sense that it was genuine, was no um like sexual intention or this dirty thing that sometimes I can sense in men when they look at a woman. It was really genuine, and I could not. I was like, the first thing I asked, why are you looking at me like that?
Mm.
Stop looking at me. And there was a huge resistance, that I could not really let it in because I was very scared of letting it in and be controlled by it or be consumed by that attention or by that appreciation of my radiance, or that this would be still like this radiance, this joy would be stolen. This was this emotion of fear that was always there. It has been an expansion, together with all this process and these discoveries about being a woman and starting over and this physical body, getting to know more my physical body and getting to know more this connection with the source of the everything, and also being more with women. This was also a huge shift to be more with women. I've not spent so much time with women in my life, really. And having physical touch and being held by women and have being asked questions by women, admire women and being admired by women. Like all of these experiences started to give a contrast for me of how it is to be witnessed in my bigness, to be not just witness to, but to be, um I'm finding the words for it, is to be encouraged to radiate even more,
Mm.
to be a leverage, like like a ladder, like a trampoline, to be impulsionated or blowed winds in this radiance. And this has been deeply healing to be around teams and circle of women that has been doing this with me and for me, and healed a lot this part of letting space in myself to let my radiance come. And with men particular, it is more challenge for me than with women to let this kind of attention or appreciation in. And now I can walk with Leonard with him looking at me sometimes, and like I look at him as like hello, and this is new because before I was like, what are you looking at me? Does this uh,
Yeah,
cat with water? So I feel that it's changing, and I feel fear that I don't know how to put it in words exactly the change.
I have another question that's connected to this. How do women do this? Because I've seen it too, and it really touches me that women around other women, just stuff can come out of them, and um it's more than that. It's like something can unfold and start moving, and it's delightful. It's like this, whatever. I don't have enough words for it, but I so wonder what it is for women about being around other women that allows that to happen.
Mm,
Or for you, what got allowed in these spaces with other women?
mhm. I'm tuning in the experience of it. Mm, there's a quality I experience being in woman's space. Somehow the competition for attention stops. So it is like I'm good as it's not that I'm good as I am, but it's like I'm complete now here. And there is a experience of relaxation in my body when I'm in a woman's space, that there's nowhere to go. Like there is no goal or object to achieve, like achievement. It is like a delight presence of I'm here. And the ideas that comes or the impulses that starts rising in the space are connected with the net. It's like that there is a net, and that all us we are together in this net, and we're not separate. We are one in this net. And and then one thing here that it's connected, and I can relate with this in different experiences when I'm with women, that I'm saying something and another woman it's saying another thing that is adding up, and it's creating a new whole space and territory that I don't have idea where is it coming from. or how is it being shaped? It is it's like a dance of a tango or something that we make a movement and then we are together, we are one. So there's this experience of being one. And it came to my picture also this the village lab in New Zealand. We were in Intimacy Cafe and there were three women sitting on the corner. And naturally this started to be created a woman's space. One woman came and another woman came and then at a point we were like nine. And there is this non-filtering of impulses. So like Janet asked to I want you woman to lay down on top of me. I need to be laid down like that you all lay down on top of me.
Mm.
Without no reason. And then we were like, yes. And she lay down and all of us started to lay down on top of each other. And then Janet started to go through a process. And in the end was we started to create like a flower. So Janet was on the middle and we started to create like a flower. And then we started circulating and the we created a process that was about we being welcomed. And when we are welcomed, we can let it, the flower to unfold and we can go to the edges to hold space for the next ones that is to come. So every time that one woman moved, the next one moved to the center and were embraced by all the others and let it, the sounds come, the words come, and it's like you're welcome. And we were touching the body without knowing. Like I was touching the body of the woman's there. And I did not know why I was putting the hand in this place or I was making this sound, but it was something intuitive and it was working like that the things was happening. Mm, the word that's coming is magic. And the quality that allows this space to happen is the clarity of this space. Because I've already were in another woman's space before, and these things were not possible.
You say
Like
more
when,
about the clarity.
yes, like mm, I could radically rely that this woman on her underworld, and then I could relax because we've done so many underworld process the 4 days before. We were so much on the team of each other and really not giving up on each other and there were men in this space and we were on our back like when some woman was not keeping her sword like the another one was giving feedback. It's like you just let it pass by now. Did you notice that? So there
Yeah.
was this collaboration happening and this created this level of clarity. It's like I can rely on 100% on you to surrender. And somehow in other spaces that I've been before, out of possibility management context, I was this constant fear you will betray me or like because I heard you gossiping about this woman in our break. So how can I know that you will not do this with me?
Yeah.
Mm, so there's this quality of clarity or underworld that I that helped to create the space. And my question, one of my questions is like, how, and I'm a source of that because in this space, this was being sourced by another Buena, by the trainer,
Hmm.
this kind of space. And I don't have idea yet how to be that source in my family house or when I go to visit there next week or with my friends that are not connected at all with this context of healing and transformation and initiation,
Yeah, wow.
where it can create this kind of space where woman can be woman. I don't know how to do that. The skills are, I'm in the path of learning that, how
Hmm.
to source this kind of space that allows such things to happen. And when a woman is radiating, I just look at your the color of your wall. It is like this yellow. Oh, this is the green. Is the really the wall?
Uh,
The
there we go.
wall, like, is like this yellow shining stuff, that comes. I already saw that yellow color of the wall. Um, it's golden yellow color. It comes when a woman can really come into her body and her power and her dignity, and is one of the most beautiful things to witness and to accompany this journey of um, of women making peace with this opportunity of experiencing this connection with Gaia, this portal that is not just about having a woman physical body, but the fact of what does it define a woman? Like, it's questions that I don't have answer for. Uh, yeah,
Will you keep talking from there? I mean, you don't have an answer, but the whatever is there for you of defining or undefining a woman.
yeah, because I'm speaking a lot about the physical body, and I feel fear. I like it's not only the physical body that defines that distinguish, I think, man from woman. I fight that for so long that it's the physical body that distinguish, so we are in essence equal, we are the same. And the, being in these spaces with women and accompanying them, accepting and taking back and um letting them shine the light through these qualities of everythingness. I feel this tingling of oh, like accepting that you are earth again. It's like I'm accepting that I'm part of Gaia, and I feel scared of this path of accepting it, because as I get closer to accepting it, it gets too painful to be here, and sometimes it gets like I don't want to be here because of what is happening. So it's like as I go through this journey, I sometimes I think I actually don't want to go further, because I if I become more Gaia, I'm also feeling more what's happening right now on the land and with human beings, and on the oceans, and with the trees, and with the animals that are dying, and I there's a part of me that don't want to feel it. And and when I'm not woman, I don't need to feel it, because I'm I'm not connected with this source. So I think the path of becoming woman and learning to come back to our physical bodies, it's one of the ways to feel again what is happening and to become human again, because we are human beings, we are not just beings, and we are also not just humans.
How do you, when you have that, uh, I don't know what it is, but like when it becomes intolerable, as you're experiencing yourself more and more as Earth and as Gaia, and then you don't want to go on, but then you do keep going on so far with this path.
Yes.
How do you do that? What makes it so you can't not do that?
I I the first answer is like there's nothing else I could do. Like I I think sometimes I do like pauses, or I I say, okay, I will give up now. I will stop all this thing and I will just accept it, that this is the experiment we humans are choosing, and that's it. And I will take a any job and try to live my life normally, and then I have this thought coming, and sometimes it stays like 1, 2, 3 days, and then I go outside, walking on the street or talking with someone, and then like reality hits, and it's like I'm already doing something different than what I thought. I'm already asking a question, or I'm already feeling sad, or I'm already feeling angry, or I'm already holding space for this person to feel, or I'm already talking with the neighbors that I will make loud sounds because I'm holding space for Rage Club. It's this, like Sophia asked me yesterday discussion, what is worth to jump into the nothing, into the unknown? What is it so worth it to jump without knowing? And my answer so far has been the experience itself. I cannot not do it. And my grumbling and my mind has these temptations of not being me, and I cannot. So you ask it, how do I not do it, and I am how do I not do it? I am. I let it, the shit show of my mind, go down the toilet, and then I'm here again. And when I'm here again, I I am Gaia, and Gaia is not just the land. The planet Earth is a source, is a feud. And Gaia balls not as a warrior, but Gaia balls like this. Like she lifts up and she balls like this.
Show me.
Yeah, it's like I discovered this in a process with Mikael partner where I was saying goodbye to New Zealand, and is it was a green, it was not like a person, but it's a green field that, and she created like a shape, and she opens her arms like her, like really expanded, and look it
Is
in
it
your eyes.
like this or how
But
the hands? Yeah, I
no,
can't quite see.
more like this, like this, like with grace. And it opens like the chest, and the it's looking with this dignity and this openness and this warmth and clarity, and then it does like this, lifting up and then come down.
So I want to do the whole thing. So it's like that, lifting up and then come down, or just light.
No, it's ah it's, you don't need to make it like the back, it is like on the side, it's like expanding like a ocean or the wave, and you go up and you look at back. I feel fear about the time. I want to check
Oh
what
my
time
God,
is.
I can't believe it's time. Uh,
Okay, wow. My fear.
it was right on time. I thought 20 minutes had gone by, to be honest.
What had we talk about, Devin? Listen.
Ah, maybe we pause here. Actually, I think we,
I want to pause here. I have another commitment
me too. I
in
think I have a
10 minutes.
call.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Gabriela, for the word that comes is generosity, of sharing yourself in this space and also just with me. I don't have a lot of words about it other than thank you.
you're welcome, Devin. I appreciate the space and the quality of spaciousness, and I feel scared of this recording because I don't know what I speak, and I, like, it was 1 hour speaking things, and I don't know, and I appreciate the quality that allows whatever came to come in a way that I don't know, and I feel glad about that. Like, uh, that is not something that I predicted that could happen. Yeah,
Me neither.
and keep going with your interviews. I would love also to hear other women to discover this territory with you. So I'm glad you're doing this experiment.
Me too. Thank you for being the first one.
Bye, my friend.
Bye.